Mrs. Gillespie. I'm here to read chapters 3 and 4 to our new book, of our new book called The Unlucky Lottery Winners of Classroom 13. If you remember yesterday's video, we learned about Classroom 13 and their teacher, Miss Linda, and about how unlucky she is. But she was very lucky because she won the lottery and then shared it with all of her students. So, chapter 3 is called Mason, and from here on out, each chapter will be about a different student in the book. So we'll get to find out how they're spending their winnings. So, chapter 3 is Mason. We have a Mason in our class, right? So, chapter 3 is Mason. Mason was not the smartest kid in classroom 13. He was not the most handsome. That honor went to Mark, of course. And he was not the funniest, but man, could he play sports. He was a natural-born athlete, but loved soccer the most. He was the county's record holder for most goals in a single soccer game. So naturally, the first and only thing the school's star soccer player bought with his $1,037,037,037.04 was a cow. Like I said, he was not the smartest kid in classroom 13. Mason had been walking home from school with his check when he met a farmer. "Why the long face, son?" the farmer asked. "Today I got a check for over $1 billion and I'm not sure what to spend it on." "Well, that's easy," said the farmer with sly eyes. "Buy a cow." "A cow?" Mason asked. "Of course, cows are an investment. I have dozens of cows. Each one is worth millions. But this one right here, Daisy, is special. She's worth well over $1 billion. Heck, maybe even more. She's a friend for life. She can provide love and warmth all her days, not to mention all the milk you could drink. Add a little chocolate syrup and boom, you got chocolate milk. Daisy here is priceless." Mason did like chocolate milk, so he gave the farmer his check and took Daisy home. Mason changed Daisy's name to Touchdown. That way, anytime he called for her, she reminded him of scoring a goal in soccer, which was incorrect since a touchdown was a goal in football. Like I said, Mason, not the smartest. But the sly farmer was right about one thing. They were instant friends. Mason and Touchdown played soccer together, though Touchdown didn't kick the ball so much as just moo. They watched Netflix together, though Touchdown didn't watch so much as just moo. And they walked to school each morning, during which time Touchdown stopped to eat grass and would occasionally, you guessed it, just moo. Touchdown provided Mason with fresh milk every morning, and Mason cleaned up the big piles of poop that Touchdown left in his front yard. The pair were inseparable, the perfect team. "I love you, Touchdown," Mason said. "Moo," Touchdown mooed. The soccer champ and the cow spent all day together, except at school. Even though they walked together, Miss Linda wouldn't let Touchdown in the classroom. "Classroom 13 already has a class pet," Miss Linda said. "Touchdown might make Earl the hamster jealous. It's best that Touchdown wait outside." Mason honored Miss Linda's wishes. He left Touchdown to roam freely, nap under the playground slide, and graze on the soccer field all day. Can you imagine if, when we go back to school, there was a cow laying under our slide at recess? That'd be so weird. After long, this turned into quite the problem. Within a month, there was no more grass on the field. Touchdown had eaten it all. Instead of a soccer field, there was just a giant mud pit. To make matters worse, the other soccer players kept complaining that their cleats were covered in cow pies. Mason didn't understand the uproar. Pie was a good thing, wasn't it? The school's athletic department demanded someone pay for the damages. Not having any money left, Mason didn't know what to do. Luckily, Touchdown did. Touchdown took a day job as the school crossing guard. Nothing stops traffic quite like a cow in the middle of the road. Can you imagine a cow directing traffic outside of school? That's crazy. Chapter 4 is called Emma. When Emma Embry was a little girl, she begged her parents for one thing, a cat. She didn't care if it was a Manx cat with no tail or an alley cat with one eye. All she wanted was a cat. She was so desperate, she would have been happy with one of those scary-looking hairless cats. But Mr. and Mrs. Embry were interior decorators, which is just a fancy way of saying people who get paid to tell you what furniture to buy. And yes, people paid Mr. and Mrs. Embry money, and lots of it, to tell them what kind of furniture to buy. Because of their job, Mr. and Mrs. Embry were expected to have a perfect home. They had fancy furniture with long, fancy names like Renaissance armoires and Louis XVI Baroque chairs. They had silk drapes and velvet carpet. Everything in their home was expensive or priceless or one of kind. That meant they would have absolutely no animals in the house that might pee or poo or vomit on their precious interior decorations. Thus, no cat for Emma. Unfortunately for Mr. and Mrs. Embry, Emma came home one day with a check for $1,037,037,037.04, and she planned to spend every dime of it on what she'd always wanted: cats. There are a couple of you out there that I'm sure can relate to this girl, that you would love to have a bunch of cats. The next day, Emma bought every cat in the state, whether it was from a store or from an alley. She had them all shipped directly to her house. Within 24 hours, Mr. and Mrs. Embry's dream house became their nightmare house. Curtains were shredded, couches were covered in hair, and anything that looked like a bird or had a bird on it was utterly destroyed. "Our beautiful home!" Emma's parents cried. "What have you done, you terrible child?" "For years, your home was more important to you than me," Emma said. "Now my dream pet has ruined your dream house. Fair is fair." Mr. and Mrs. Embry growled and screamed and threw a tantrum. When they were done, they told Emma, "If you have so much money, perhaps you and your cat should go live somewhere else." "That's a fantastic idea," Emma said. She'd always wanted to live on an island of cats. Emma bought a large island in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Polynesia. She renamed it Cat's Island, not to be confused with Tashirajima, Japan, also known as Cat Island. Then she chartered a plane to take her and all her cats to their new home. She built a castle full of pillows and scratching posts. The televisions only played movies and shows about cats. Outside, there was a massive garden of catnip. There was only one law on Cat Island. Can you guess what law would you have on Cat Island? It's this: no dogs allowed. Emma started a stray adoption service so that anytime a cat needed a home, it was flown, first class of course, to Cat's Island. Emma finally had everything she'd ever dreamed of. There was only one problem. It turned out Emma is severely allergic to cats. Her eyes swelled up, then sealed shut with icky, sticky eye goo. She broke out in hives and her whole body became itchy. She couldn't stop scratching, but the worst part was the sneezing. Every 30 seconds, she sneezed a terrible and loud and snotty sneeze that scared all the cats away. And no matter how many allergy medicines she took, she was still allergic to her favorite thing in the world: cats. Eventually, she had to leave Cat's Island and go home. Okay, that is the end of chapter 4. We will start chapter 5 tomorrow, and I will tell you it's called William. So we're going to read a story about William. We also have a William in our class, so that will be nice. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye.